Now, I have a question for you. When you think about Rimworld, do you imagine ruling over a massive tribal empire of over 20 colonists who are all physically deformed and all missing limbs? Kidnapping, torturing, and indoctrinating anyone who dares to raid you? Build cities out of marble only for them to starve horribly? You do? Wait, you're supposed to say no. Well, in this video, we'll be doing just that. Yup, I'm establishing the Roman Empire in Rimworld. But what does that mean exactly? To make this video actually interesting and not some half-ass playthrough with mods, I have set up some requirements. Fulfilling these requirements will secure our position as the most powerful nation on the planet, and perhaps even bring us into a new age beyond our restrictions. The first requirement is reaching at least 12 colonists. This is by far the simplest one. The second one is having at least 3 settlements to make sure it's an absolute hell trying to manage everything. The third is to build a Colosseum in Rome and once every year host a fight to the death, effectively sacrificing 1 colonist every year. And the final requirement, by far the hardest, is reaching 100,000 units of silver stored in Rome. Now, on top of that, I have a set of rules to follow as well. I cannot use anything non-tribal. No guns, no electricity, no nothing. So, with all of that said, go grab yourself some drink or snack. This will be a long one. It's time for Rimworld! Hell yeah! I was very excited. Now, the Roman Empire in real life was established by 2 quite odd people. Story time. Once upon a time, there was this woman called Rhea. Now, Rhea is quite special. After being ordered to remain a virgin by her brother Amulius, she decided to with the god of war, Mars. She then shot out Romulus and Remus, who immediately were ordered to be drowned.
Hello, how are you? I am under the water.
However, for some reason, they survived, got washed up somewhere, and then got rescued by a wolf, who raised them and breastfed them and shit. Then, some time later, Romulus and Remus established a town, killed Amulius, and lived happily ever after. Romulus killed Remus. For some reason. And that, kids, is why Rome is called Rome, and not Reem. You know what? I actually kinda like this classroom. I'm gonna keep it. Now, in my version, Rome got founded by 5 savage tribals, and one of them being severely addicted to drugs. But before I continue on about my mental hospital escapees, I have something to share. I am horribly retarded. Instead of picking a good spawn like a temperate forest, I was like, hold on, isn't Rome basically on a desert or an arid climate? First of all, no it isn't. Second of all, even if it was, it will be a horribly bad idea to establish a city with a massive plant population on a fucking desert. However, that didn't stop me from choosing this biome. Back to my colonists. I was at least smart enough to look at the colonist skills and make sure we had everything we needed. And after some spamming on the randomizer button, this is what I came up with. Aurelius as my emperor, Lavigo as my footman, Aberniro as my second footman, Garcia as my healer, and Miner. For you absolute nerds wondering, I am playing on Strive to Survive and reload anytime mode, as I am not that masochistic. Chill out. Let's start. Holy shit.
Right, I'll tell you what, you fat little cunt. You're boring. You don't...
So, what now? Well, usually the first concern of people playing Rimworld is figuring out where to build their shit. After taking a good look at the map, I decided to build my shit within this area. Now the plan is to have most buildings out of marble. But seeing as my current production capacity is at the same level as a toddler with some sticks of wood, I opted to build some temporary wooden buildings. Sometime later, and here they are, a wooden hall and a warehouse. Romulus and Remus would be very proud. Not before long, I also got the option to name our empire and city. The Roman Empire. Rome. Yes! At the very end of this recording, I also constructed a factory, which will later be used to mass produce marble blocks. After concluding the recording and going to bed, I had a very good time sleeping. However, once I hopped on the day after, I felt that something was off. After thinking for no more than 2 seconds, I realized something. I forgot to download mods. I proceeded to search up the Roman Empire in the Steam workshop and found a rather promising mod. Now before I proceed, I just want you to know that I possess the approximate IQ of 74. After having the mod downloaded, I quickly opened up Rimworld, expecting the mod to automatically get enabled. To no one's surprise, however, this didn't work and sent me into a panic.
Oh shit!
I desperately tried to reboot Rimworld as well as re-download the mod, but nothing worked. I even went as far as trying to find the mod pack on Nexus Mods.
Bruh.
After literal hours, I finally found the problem. Now, in the menu, there is a fucking tab labeled mods. And inside of it, you can choose to enable or disable your mods. Oh, why don't you work? Wait, what if I... Oh wait. Oh wait. Oh no. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. Holy shit. Nice. Now finally, after what felt like a civil war between both halves of my brain and both losing, I could finally continue playing again. So, here's our situation. We have close to nothing. No food, no weapons, no armor, no research, and no marble. In order to fix this, I will be taking inspiration from our dear comrade Stalin and establish a 5-year plan. In this glorious illustration of ancient communism, each colonist will be given their own specific task. Aurelius will be researching, Lavigo will be farming, Abdernir will be constructing and crafting, Garcia will be healing, and Miner will be... However, before I even got to make the first block of marble, I made the horrifying realization. We ran out of food 3 days ago, and our potato harvest is in 5. Just as in real life, every single one of my colonists were at an average of 50% malnutrition. Stalin would be very proud. Now luckily, farming isn't the only way to get food in Rimworld. After desperately scanning the map, I found a big juicy target just waiting for us. However, we have no armor, and in Rimworld, combat with no armor essentially just means guaranteed death. Either way, I don't have much of a choice. Holy shit, we won. Gentlemen, food has been secured. Now that we aren't on the brink of starvation, we held out until we harvested our first potatoes, firmly securing our survival.
Potato blood in my veins.
We also researched smithing, defeated a raid and captured a prisoner, built our first marble roads, and... Hold on. Why are there only 4 colonists? What happened to... Miner died. Yup, remember when I said that combat without armor is essentially just guaranteed death? Well, after the fight with the rhinoceros, Miner simply contracted an infection and promptly died. Oh no. Oh no. Rest in peace, Miner. You will probably not be remembered. Now, fast forward. We built our first marble structure. Put our prisoner in that structure. Sold a bunch of potatoes and bought a herd of sheep. And finally, researched furniture. With that technology comes monuments. Feeling bad for Miner, I decided to construct a memorial for him. While that was going on, I also recruited the prisoner we captured earlier, with very ethical methods.
Bugs under your skin. There are bugs under your skin.
Aside from that, I also started production on our armor, as well as built some beds. Comfort in Rome was truly on the rise. Now that we could maybe, possibly, survive, I thought it would be a good idea to focus on the next big thing. In about a month, I will be forced by my schizophrenic overlords to host a deathmatch between two colonists. What? Since my marble stock is less efficient than my current mental health, I'll construct a smaller coliseum of steel right here. As it got built, I took some time to take in the site of our colony. It had actually started to resemble a city now. A very impoverished and shitty one, but a city nonetheless. Unfortunately, the little amount of happiness and accomplishment I felt got stripped away once I realized that I am not only retarded but also very much blind. The fight is actually in 2 months, not in 1. Luckily, I had a prisoner to lash out on. Hi, Anton's home. After finishing the real Colosseum blueprint, I hopped off to sleep on my cozy basement floor, dreaming about the gladiator fight for tomorrow. The recording for the next day was slightly eventful, consisting of these following events. A big trader group blowing up a boomaloop. Chef's pants vanishing. Defeating a bunch of cougars. And recruiting someone I'd consider the perfect girl. But I'm not done yet. A sheep miscarried because I forgot to feed it. More boomaloops attacking us. Garcia trying to assault a prisoner only to get absolutely shat on. And finally, nicely cleaning up Rome from all the fucking boomaloop blood. Inevitably, the time came. It is the 1st of April, 1 year since we got here. The fighters I chose were Habanero and Garcia. After gathering everyone, the fight. Okay, so it seems that Footman has the upper hand here. He's gotten some hits. Oh, never mind. She hit the Hoodman, the Footman in the head. Interesting. Oh, we got another hit right at the Footman's jaw. Come on, Footman, you got her. Cook her up. And that to me looks like a final blow. I'm not sure the healer can return from this. The Footman seems to be unfazed. Never mind, he got hit in the head again. And looks like the healer won this game. And the winner is... the healer! Somehow, I missed the fact that Habanero lost a fucking eye and didn't reload. But either way, Garcia shockingly came out on top. Now, you may have noticed that my 5-year plan has been very successful. Well, it's more of a 1-year plan. We have an abundance of food, 2 marble structures built, a bunch of marble pavement already laid, most people are armored and battle ready, and we only lost 20% of our original population. Wait a minute. In short, things were going good. With the stable situation and efficient workshop, I decided to spend the next hour or so purely on infrastructure and production. I started off by putting 3 more pieces of armor in production, as well as starting construction on another marble building. However, before I could finish, I got rudely interrupted by a raid. Oh shit. A very special raid. You see, these people have guns. Fuck. I responded by simply killing them.
You picked the wrong house, fool!
Afterwards, I buried the bodies and captured a prisoner, and just forgot about it. With the marble building I mentioned earlier completed, I naturally started work on a new one, which I impressively managed to raise within a day. And not too long after, I also recruited the captured prisoner. Things are looking good. I even rebuilt the tiny excuse of a factory into a proper industrial workshop, as well as kidnapped a woman.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Be La Vigo. Be very cute and have an insane melee skill. Get promoted to Centurion by a mentally unstable schizophrenic man. Get a cute Centurion helmet. As the recording neared an end, I got hit with another raid, with guns.
I have sex in front of my kids. I'd never be ashamed of sex.
Look, I have to tell you something. This is a problem. But the problem isn't the raid itself, as it's still relatively weak and easy to defeat. The problem is that the second raid went from 4 lunatics with revolvers to 5 lunatics with shotguns, grenades, rifles, and some even had an armored plate. Follow me. In Rimworld, raids get progressively bigger and better armed as time passes. Now, you might say, Anton, that's a very simple and logical feature. Yes, but that's if you play the game regularly. The reality is, soon I will see raids of up to 20 people, all with assault rifles, snipers, mortars, grenade and rocket launchers, and hell, probably even fucking marine armor. With my current restrictions, I'd effectively set myself into a race for survival, and the only thing I can do is to get more colonists and more equipment. With that in mind, my first new action was to begin equipping everyone with helmets. Unfortunately, however, that process was very slow, as I got continuously distracted.
I promise to you.
Scaleless, go get a 15-inch cucumber and shove it up your
I mean, I could do it.
I already did it.
You're not taking 15 inches, absolutely not.
Yeah, I heard you were 5'1".
Shut up, you stupid nigga.
Good thing I disconnected him in time.
Right.
You're so cute!
Oh my god!
Stop it.
Anton, try not to be cute challenge. Impossible.
Failed.
Failed already, bro.
Additionally, I started building a central avenue, planned to stretch all the way down to the Colosseum, which objectively looked neat.
Hey, that's pretty good.
My ambitious construction projects, however, were yet again interrupted by a raid, which, yeah, but hey, at least we got these two. After providing some therapy to poor lady, I finally began to remove the wooden hall. Our city now looks less than this, and more like this.
Are you serious right now, bro?
Alongside that, I also added torches to light up the city. Hell, I even recruited woodpeckers shortly after. With Rome looking on the way to being decent, I decided to share the base with a friend of mine, Vex. After sending some screenshots of the colony, she responded with nothing. 1 hour later, I sent this, only for her to respond within 3 minutes. After asking her why the base was bad, she responded by ignoring me. For a month. Thank you, Vex. I now have a specific anxiety for sharing Rimworld colonies, as well as a crippling fear of women. Ugh. Now, since our research station as well as cooking spot was inside of the wooden hall, I felt obligated to spend some time on developing public infrastructure. By the time I was done, the following stuff had happened. I decimated a tribal raid and captured a prisoner named White. I recruited Bebo and reached 10 colonists. I completely slaughtered another fucking tribal raid. I recruited said White and was very fond of him because he looked like a Viking. And lastly, I got hit by, you guessed it, a fucking raid. Yeah, this raid was fucking mental. It consisted of 10 raiders equipped with heavy SMGs, auto pistols. Hell, one had a machine gun. This might have been the first raid I've actually had to carefully employ detailed strategies for. Now, being the direct descendant of Napoleon himself, here's what I cooked up. The raid is split into two different squads, one being here and one being over there. Traditionally, you oftentimes wait for the enemy to assault you, because you might have defenses such as turrets and whatnot. Now, we only have colonists as defense, and if I let 10 heavily armed raiders surround me, it would not be a pretty sight. So, I reckoned, since they're split up, why not go and pick off one of their groups, and then go back home just in time for the second one to start assaulting. I think I can. Get down quick. I'm so fucking smart. Quick, storm. Okay, so these are fleeing. Okay, now I'm only going to have to deal with the west. As their first group perished, I rushed home as fast as I could, and arrived just in time to place out my forces. What followed was cruel and bloody urban fighting in the middle of Rome. Okay, we're all on place. So we got one up north, right? Pin him. Okay, good. Yup. And now she's halted. Amazing. How are you doing? Light work. Not even a challenge. Hunter my ass. You got wiped. Look, it's the 1st of April again. But come on, let me at least celebrate this victory and bury the bodies. Fast forward to the 7th. I chose Bertha and Woodpecker as the fighters for this year. Now, let the fight! Ladies and gentlemen, let me present to you the two fighters. Footman, wait, no, hold up. Bertha versus Bono. Are you ready to begin? Yes. 3, 2, 1. Fight! Bam! And the finisher hit him right in the face. Takedown! And the winner is... Ladies and gentlemen, the winner is... Bertha Meyers! The second champion of Rome! Luckily, no one lost an eye again. Congratulations, Bertha. The years just fly by, don't they? Well, for this year, I started off with implementing some name reforms. You see, up until this point, I have completely removed all of my colonists' names, and instead have their title as their name. This is very stupid.
Fucking retards!
Because when I see Footman has died, I am left to ponder which of the 10 fucking Footmen. Now, with our colonists handed the privilege of a name, I could get to work for some intellectualism. My deep and meaningful thoughts, however, were interrupted by this. Oh my god, what the fuck? Yes, that's 16 angry tribals chasing poor Bertha. Now, since I was high on industrial grade adhesive fumes, I essentially shat my pants once I saw the sheer number of these fucks. And the battle that followed wasn't exactly better. Holy shit. Fuck. Jesus Christ. Oh my fucking god. They're all fleeing. After dealing with the raiders in a manner I like to call an effective solution to fertilizer shortage, I took the raid as a sign to maybe raise my first defensive walls. The city planning here being that there will be an outer and much thicker wall around this area, with more houses and neighborhoods in between. As the walls were being raised, my colonists decided to throw a party to celebrate and relax after this victory. I must say that I too felt like I was a part of this party. You now maybe understand my surprise when Albernero and Garcia from nowhere tried to beat each other to death.
The fuck you say to me, you little shit?
Fucking can't have shit in Rome, man. This led me to realize something very funny. 2/3 of my colonists are really just people I've beat down and kidnapped, and are all from different factions.
Listen, we fucked up.
This leads to relationship mechanics having a strong resemblance to a bar fight. While cleaning up the mess, I got hit with this. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a rough Outlander union. If you're anywhere close to mentally sane, you probably don't know what it means. To put it short, these are angry people with guns. And as such, it's a very good idea to at least try and have a good relationship with them. As I scrambled up a team to go and attend the peace talk, I felt a sudden nationalistic revelation. I am sending my emperor to go and beg our enemies to not attack us. This is pathetic indeed. And so an urge was born. The urge to stand up and fight back. The urge to dominate. The urge to build a grand temple for our holy emperor. We will not forget this. For the entire duration of the recording, I scratched up the little marble that was left in Rome and began building a temple.
Holy shit.
A grand palace, if you will, for Aurelius and for Rome. Up until now, Aurelius has only been a leader, but now he's an emperor. Anton, dinner's ready. Shut up, Mom! I'm proclaiming the Roman Emperor! Along with the newly built temple, I also rehauled our wooden warehouse into a proper storage facility.
Nice.
But all these new shiny additions came with a cost. That cost being marble. Marble is not infinite, and it just so happens that I completely run out of marble within Rome. Well, shit. I guess it has finally happened. Gentlemen, it's time for some manifest destiny. Now, gentlemen, I would have the next part a bit more developed if my mic didn't sound like it has underwent alpha decomposition of the atomic nucleus and let out a helium atom, therefore beaming alpha radiation. Yeah, look. I have absolutely no clue what the fuck happened. It sounded normal, and then it fucking suddenly just... Why? What the fuck? Why? The following actions of mine can be best explained as kidnapping 2 innocent people, finding a place with marble, appointing Bebo as a group leader, sending the group away to establish a mining colony at said place, and having Dummy Mommy Lavigo watch over these methods. And what do you know, some 30 minutes later, we got this. As I sent Lavigo back home to Rome, I got hit with this message. Peyruis. Rock. Yeah. Fantastic. There we go. Well, it's time to earn some cash. There are many ways of earning cash in Rimworld, but almost all of them center on one thing: trading, selling your stinky greasy property, and get some shiny shekels in return. The question is, what stinky property are we going to sell? Well, in our previous 30-hour state of delusional progress, we obtained a rather large herd of bison. You thinking what I'm thinking? Bison wool is a pretty valuable material, and considering that we have 2 fucking insane crafters, the choice was obvious. We are going to become a clothing brand. Yes, yes, get your beautiful clothes from the Roman Empire. TM. Seeing as we don't exactly have to worry about infrastructure, I started working immediately. I chose the clothing item Porka to be our first job. As a, proof of concept. Yeah. Once I had made a total of 7 Porkas, I sent out Bebo and Woodpecker to... Oh right, I forgot to tell you. They got married in the off-camera shit, and I decided to just make them caravaneers. To like, have them be together and shit. No. Where was I? Right. I sent out Woodpecker and Bebo to a settlement to sell our clothes.
I got some jelly beans. Like jelly beans?
This is... good. After repeating the process a couple of times, I gradually switched to produce dusters, as they were cooler, I guess. Eventually, I reached 20k. I have reached 20,000 silver. Glory to Rome. Not good, but it's a great start. Shortly afterwards, I was hit by a truly lucrative quest. The kinship of Gokr wants us to go and slaughter a enemy faction settlement. I took some time to think through, but seeing how powerful we had become, I assumed that going off the silver grind, just this once, wouldn't hurt. Oh my fucking god, it did! I mobilized my forces and sent out the following colonists. Now, after reflection, it has struck me that this is very similar to what Charles XII did. Once we arrived, fierce fighting began. Now the battle actually went smoothly. Perfect even. But as soon as our victors came home to Rome, literally the first fucking second of arriving, we got hit by this bullshit. This is a revenge raid of 30 people. What didn't help is that at the same time that the battle for the enemy settlement was going on, I actually repelled a mechanoid attack. Basically, almost everyone in my fucking empire is wounded, and morale was low from the start. With seemingly no other choice available, I retracted my fucking forces to Rome, and just... Jesus Christ, man. Abernero lost his other eye, making him blind. My colonists look like this. There's blood all over this central avenue. In the following recording, I somewhat recovered. Slightly. However, our food is practically out, and we're about to starve. There cannot, by any circumstances, be another... Okay, so, what the fuck just happened? On second thought, let's just forget about it. Rome has recovered. Food is plenty. We slaughtered our enemies. And we got 2 days left to get 70,000 silver. Uh-oh. That's right. While... happened, we completely lost our sense of time. As a result, we found ourselves in quite a pickle. Anton, how the living fuck are you going to get 70,000 silver in 2 days? Well, my student, observe. We are 20 people. We got 2 extremely competent crafters. We got a whole herd of bison. I think the answer is quite obvious. After some mental preparation, I officially began Project 48. The 48 stands for hours. Get it? Since it's like 2 days. The way this shit will work is surprisingly simple. Zoka and Yumiko will produce 10 dusters. Aurelius will be sent out on horse with said 10 dusters. As he's making his way back to sell the dusters and eventually back to Rome, Yumiko and Zoka will produce an additional 10 dusters. This way, I will have Aurelius going non-stop, earning us cash. There is another thing, however. A very significant thing. I won't tell you what it is yet. But now, with no more time to waste,
Let's do this.
It is safe to say that my plan is working, but we could be making way more money. Sorry to interrupt, but a quick final lesson. After trading with a settlement, it takes 30 days to restock on cash. During these 7 jobs, I have been utilizing every single settlement close to me, in some cases going to places far away. But even while doing this, we have to wait quite some time. Solution: make a new town next to a cluster of settlements and make it capable of mass producing dusters. So that's what I did. Now, I did absolutely not have time to build another Rome, so I took inspiration from factory towns in Siberia. Roughly at the time that we reached 50k, Alexandria got fully capable of duster production. This is where I stopped recording. Don't worry though, I was locked in. We emerge at 90,000 silver. Here are our objectives. As I sent down Garcia to Alexandria, I began an enormous production of dusters in both towns. For you to understand how big it was, I managed to make 40 dusters in just 20 minutes. Once Garcia entered Alexandria, both Aurelius and White had made a combined 7,000, and the majority of the produced dusters had been sold. Some minutes pass. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. I load on all of the silver on White and Garcia and make a caravan up to Rome. However, to my horror, it is winter.
But watch this.
Not to worry though, after barely surviving, White and Garcia managed to pick up the pace and entered Rome. Holy fucking shit. This is it. We got one thing left to do.